That way, most of the time, we can make decisions that will push us in the right direction when it comes to our health. They can make us stronger. They can make us more protective when it comes to fighting and preventing illness and disease. And so that, like I said, that side of the coin is super important when it comes to our food choices. But of course, we can't ignore the fact that our culture plays a significant role in how we choose our foods. All right. So what is, when you hear gut microbiome, what exactly is that? So basically, there are trillions and trillions of little microorganisms that live within our body. And there's some good ones and there's some bad ones. And so basically, we're kind of hosts to them. They live within us, they help us to, digest our food and protect our immune system and things like that. But, when there's that imbalance, when there's more of the bad ones that cause illness and discomfort and harm to our body versus the good ones, then that's when we start to see changes in our health. And so it's important to know that we need to protect those good bacteria because they're fighting the good fight within us, right? They're protecting, again, our immune system. And I'll go over this in a minute, exactly what they're doing, but they're the ones that we need to protect. And nutrition is probably the primary way that we can protect those good bacteria so they can thrive, they can grow, and they can do the job that they're meant to do within our bodies. All right, so this is what, if you took a slice of our gut lining, the lining in our gut, and put it under a microscope, this is what it would look like. And so this is a healthy gut. So you see like the purpley things here and all these green and blue, that's the lining, that's the actual lining of our gut right here. And that's protected by a thin layer of mucus or mucosal lining right here. And so there's that barrier between our actual gut tissue and everything else that's going on here. And as you can see, these are all the bacteria, the good gut microbiota that exists within our systems. And then inside here, this is the inside of our gut lining. So as food passes through, you see this is real tight, everything's intact here. So food passes through, there's a lot of absorption going on here. There's some things that pass through this mucosal lining, but it's pretty intact. So basically the things that need to get through, and the things that don't need to get through, don't get through. However, in an unhealthy gut, you see there's this breakdown here. So in the inside, there's some things that are getting through, like some of these bad bacteria. They get through this lining because you no longer have this mucus protecting right here, and you no longer have the integrity of that structure of the lining of our gut. And so this is what creates that imbalance. And that imbalance, what can that look like? It could look like something as simple as regular constipation, diarrhea, nausea, especially after a meal, reflux, things like that. And then, over time, as, bad things get through and that starts to affect more and more of that tissue, it can start to manifest in, autoimmune diseases. It can manifest in irregular blood sugars or high blood sugars. It changes in blood pressure. So again, going back to this slide, this is ideally what we want our gut lining to look like. We want a strong barrier. We want that strong mucosal barrier. We want these tight junctions right here. And we want things to only pass through that need to pass through so we can digest our food and absorb what we need, all those nutrients, vitamins, minerals, proteins, carbs, all of it. Everything that we need to be digested, digest properly. All right. And so how can we help our digestion? Or more specifically, how can the microbiota or that gut microbiome help in digestion? So the microbiota, which are present within the digestive system, they help to support that nutrient absorption. So again, those bacteria, they help to further break down things like carbs and starches. So for example, if you were to eat an apple and you digest that apple, it goes through your digestive system, those good bacteria, not only are there to break down some of those starches within that apple, some of those carbs, but they're also there to help the fibers, the insoluble fibers that don't necessarily break down. They help those to move along your digestive tract, so that can create regular bowels. It can create more substance within the bowels, things like that. And that's just one thing that these microbiomes do within our system. They have probably hundreds of thousands of different little jobs within our system. But this is just one really significant one in how they play in the role when it comes to digestion. They also help to support our immune system. And of course, we don't necessarily think about the gut when we think about our immune system, but it's estimated that at least 60 to 80% of our immune system is located within our gut. So a lot of times, when people get regular colds, or, when they get the flu and it knocks them down, sometimes it's good to look at the diet when it comes to that, because again, it's not necessarily the fact that you're not getting enough vitamin C, or you're not getting enough zinc. Sure, those things do help to support the immune system, but there's the other side of that, to where when we eat foods that are high in vitamin C, or eat foods that are high in zinc, how is that being processed within our body? And it's the gut bacteria or the gut microbiome that help to facilitate all that. So again, they help to stimulate that immune system, and they also teach our immune system how to respond to pathogens. So in the event that we get sick, if we have a good gut bacteria microbiome flora, then our bodies learn how to fight illness. So the next time you get a cold, you might not be sick as long, because you fed those good bacteria. They're out there teaching our systems how to fight infection. And so the next time it happens, you recover faster. And same thing when it comes to exercise. So let's say you don't necessarily get sick with a cold or a flu pretty frequently. Exercise is considered to be stress on the body, and we have to recover. And as we exercise more and more, and we're feeding ourselves good foods that help to feed that good bacteria, then that good bacteria can teach our bodies how to recover better from that exercise and that stress. And that's what leads to us getting stronger, getting faster, just becoming more healthier in that sense. So again, we could talk about this topic like for hours, but that's, again, just one other job that they do within our systems. And this has actually been studied more recently. There is a strong connection to our gut health and our mental health. And this is because the gut, it houses our serotonin receptors. And so serotonin is kind of like that happy, calming hormone within our body. And so if those receptors are within our gut, that means that our gut is controlling how much of that serotonin is released within our body to give us that happy feeling, or that calming effect. So again, that microbiome, the healthy microbiome, allows for that effective use of that serotonin. It also could potentially reduce the symptoms in anxiety or depression. So again, feeding that good bacteria with some good food and good nutrition. There are studies that show that a good, healthy, nutritious diet long-term can reduce symptoms of anxiety and depression. And there's also been some research that points to a link between the microbiome and our circadian rhythm. So people that tend to eat better often tend to sleep better as well. So again, just one other connection when it comes to, our microbiome and the gut health, and how we function as a whole system. All right. So when it comes to food and connecting nutrition to our gut health, there's three things. There's prebiotics, there's probiotics, and there's just overall good nutrition. So when we talk prebiotics are the things that feed that good bacteria. So again, it's our non-digestible carbohydrates, the insoluble fibers. So not necessarily eating, this is the difference between eating or drinking apple juice, for example, that has no fiber, but it has some carbs, and eating a whole apple That whole apple is going to give you the carbs, which is the fruit sugar, the fructose. It's also going to give you the insoluble fibers, which are the fibers that you can see, and it gives it the crunch and everything like that. But the apple's also going to give you those soluble fibers too. And those soluble and the insoluble fibers are the ones that are feeding that gut bacteria. And again, those soluble fibers, those are often known as resistant starches. And those resistant starches are able to pass through our digestive system. And again, they're fueling that gut bacteria. And probiotics. And, of course, most people have heard of probiotics by now, but it's really important to understand, what they are. And again, probiotics are living in and of themselves. They're those good bacteria that exist outside of our system that we put in our system. And those bacteria, not only do they stay and grow and thrive themselves, but they also help their buddies out when it comes to the good bacteria that are within our systems already. So they kind of work together with what's in our system to, again, create a better environment within our gut. They serve as a fuel source. These can be found in things like yogurt, kefir milk, kimchi, sauerkraut, all kinds of things. And we can also take a probiotic. And matter of fact, when it comes to supplementation, my rule of thumb is if you're not getting enough from your diet, a supplement should bridge the gap between what you're getting and what you need. And so when it comes to probiotics, when in our food sources, if you know, for example, you're lactose intolerant and you can't tolerate yogurt, for example, you don't necessarily have to try to eat some of these other foods. You could supplement with a probiotic supplement and it would be beneficial. But choosing the right one is important, because a lot of supplements will only have maybe 1 or 2 strains of bacteria. And you want something that is pretty comprehensive, that has a mix or a good number of variety when it comes to your bacteria that you're getting from that probiotic, right? So when it comes to maintaining a healthy gut, rules of thumb: making good food choices, the food choices that promote a diverse gut microbiome. So again, choosing foods that are probiotics, eating foods that have the good bacteria in them, and choosing foods that feed that good bacteria. Again, those complex carbs that have the soluble and insoluble fibers in them. Regular exercise. When it comes to exercise, it also stimulates the gut. Some people notice, for example, a lot of long distance runners, they will have, they may experience some, loose stools, if you will, after a long run. Or, some people just experience changes in their bowels after they work out. And some of that has to do with just the movement in and of itself, but the exercise also creates more blood flow to the digestive system, and it helps in that way. So it's a beneficial thing, and our bodies learn from that too, and are able to adapt and overcome when it comes to that. So regular exercise is key when it comes to that too. And then staying hydrated, of course. And especially if you're taking a probiotic, you want to make sure that you're drinking regular water. And I know, I'm in a couple of the chats, and I know that we're doing water checks every now and then, and some of y'all are doing fantastic when it comes to that. But staying hydrated, getting enough water, that not only promotes that regular bowel movements, and those regular bowel movements in turn will help our bodies to release that bad bacteria that's been killed off or overcome by the good bacteria, and get it out of our systems, and then create that overall healthy digestive system. That lining, again, stays intact. That mucosal layer up top stays intact. So whatever gets in needs to be getting in, and the things that don't need to be in our digestive system stay out. So again, good food choices, regular exercise, staying hydrated. Those are the top 3 when it comes to, easy things that you can do in order to maintain your gut health. And so with that, are there any questions? Anybody have any comments?
Don't be nervous if you have questions.
I was gonna say, it's so true about the exercise and your bowels. I always have to time mine a certain way, because otherwise I'm like, okay, let's finish this run. You know, you got to go. But
Yep.
I haven't bloated in months. I'm talking months. I used to get bad headaches, and also the mood swings were really bad before I started all the good eating, because you know, like our gut's our second brain. If that's not happy, we're not happy. But I'm telling you what, it is the best thing, because I feel great. You should be having regular movements every day. And if you're not, that's not good either. You know, I have a friend that she goes every 3 days. And so I talked to her about fiber, and I said, girl, you got to change that, because your gut health is important. You've got to get that going. But it keeps everything moving. I always call it shake it up, shake it loose, and get it
That's what you want to
going.
do. Yep.
I know. But it is important, because it does affect your mental health, you know, because last year I had a lot of depression, a lot of just, it was not good. It was not good. But when your mindset's good, everything else is good. So it's so true, that gut, it's your second brain that's going to control a lot. So you get that regulated, it's really good.
Absolutely. We have our hand raised here. Go ahead.
I do. I was trying to follow, Zoom rules.
Oh, you're fine. Go ahead.
Okay. So yeah, I realize my name isn't on there. So I am Kat. I will do a little bit of sharing here. So with regards to gut health. So I shared kind of in our big telehealth. I didn't share a lot, but I've been sharing a little bit because everybody else is so like amazing with sharing their journey. So when I started my journey, and I got really good about gut health. I'm a big nerd. I got books and I watch a bunch of documentaries, and so the probiotic and the gut health stuff is how I actually found out that I have a histamine intolerance. Right, so I can't do the fermented foods. There's a bunch of foods that I used to love that I realized I had to take out. And it's because of following that and actually realizing how important gut health is. And while I'm very sad about some of the foods that I can't eat just because it does cause bloating, it's the things like the spinach and bananas and all this really good food, realizing that, just like you said, right, being able to understand that everything ain't for everybody, right, but also being able to now kind of figure out what my substitutions are, right, knowing that I do have this particular kind of histamine intolerance, and then substituting out those foods for like better foods, and then so that I do have a healthy gut, and then how important it is to figure out a probiotic, because I was just like, I just won't eat those foods. But then my doctor was like, but yeah, now your gut health is going to be bad, because a lot of the healthy foods that were making me feel ill, she's like, you're still going to feel like low on energy. So just like someone was saying with regards to like when your gut health is better, your mental health does become a lot better. And so does your energy. The amount of, and the fact that I actually get up at like to go to the gym at 5:15. I tell somebody, and I think I put in the chat, like my goal this year is to swim 50 miles this year, right, on top of all the other workouts. And I do that at 5 o'clock in the morning. And yeah, and I'm not the only crazy person in the pool, but I was not a 5 a.m. swimmer. I was a 7 p.m. swimmer. And a big part of that is because I got the health, the physical and the gut health together. So it's more of a testimony. I should probably be saying this is a testimony. Y'all, we went to church a little bit this morning, sorry, or this afternoon. But yeah, I just wanted to speak on the information that you were giving with that, because it really is important. And sidebar, there is a funny little documentary on Netflix that talks about exactly what you were talking about, the whole like gut health thing. So yeah, there you go. That's it. That's my testimony. Thanks, y'all.
Thank you. Yes, yes. And yeah, I've checked out that documentary. It breaks it down a lot more than I did. And like I said, we could talk about gut health for hours. There's just so much to it. But and then there are a lot of people that initially start off with intolerances where, they have not necessarily food allergies per se, but intolerances. And, they make adjustments to their diet. They add the right kind of bacteria, good bacteria through a probiotic. And, over time, they're able to reintroduce some of those foods back into their diet. So, and that's kind of why I said earlier, it's important to choose the right kind of probiotic because some bacteria, every bacteria has a function, and you want to choose the bacteria that's going to be functioning properly in order to be able to heal that portion that's causing the intolerance in the first place. So it's possible, but yeah, I mean, good for you for, definitely taking strides on that end. That's amazing.
Okay, I have a question. Can you hear me?
Yes,
I
ma'am.
can. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I already put it in the little text because I wasn't for sure how to do this. But what are some good fibers uh to kind of like keep your bowels going that you could possibly eat to keep you regular?
That's a good question, definitely. So there are two kinds of fibers. There's the soluble fiber. So if you think
Uh-huh.
again, for example, that apple, the mealy part on the inside
Uh-huh.
is mostly that soluble fiber. That's the
Okay.
fiber that breaks down your body naturally and mechanically can break that down, and you don't see it when, in your stools at all. Insoluble fiber, the best example that everybody can relate to is corn, right? So corn is mostly insoluble fiber, and that's why a lot of people have a hard time digesting it.
Okay.
We break it down a little bit, but and ideally we break it down to where you can't see whole kernels. But since it's mostly insoluble fiber, chances are you're going to see some of that. Spinach is another good example of a food that is has a high amount of insoluble fiber. So that's a fiber that mechanically our bodies don't break down, and that's intentional because when it comes to what they do, the soluble fiber soaks up all that bad cholesterol within our bloodstream. So it goes through our digestive system, grabs onto that cholesterol, and takes it out of the body. The insoluble fiber, it acts as the broom per se. So it goes through our digestive system, basically sweeps out everything, and then that ends up in the stool. So they both have two jobs. Most fruits and vegetables will provide you with both types of fiber, whole grains. I always say if you can see the nuts and grains in your bread, then you're getting some soluble and insoluble fibers. And those are pretty much the best sources when it comes to those fibers. Did that answer your question?
It pretty much did. So basically, because I love spinach, so that is it because I eat it raw and then I'll eat it fried. I like it fried in olive oil,
Mhm.
and I have virgin olive oil that my stepmother got me. Real good stuff. So spinach that way is what I'm understanding is not really good for you, or is it good for you?
I wouldn't say either is good or bad.
Okay.
Yep. So when you cook spinach, just like when you cook any other vegetable, it does break down those insoluble fibers just a little bit. But you can still eat them and they'll still do their job. So whether you eat raw spinach, I mean, granted, your body's doing a little bit more work when it comes to the raw.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. But at the same time, the difference is real small. So as long as
Okay.
you're eating spinach, eating it raw or cooked,
Yeah.
that's up to you.
Okay. And then the apple, because I know there's many different types of apple. There's the red apple, there's the green apples, so many different types, but I do choose to eat the red apples more so than I will a green apple.
Mhm.
And I eat that in the salads when I make them. I eat them just plain. I love them. I eat them with the peanut butter on them. I just love them any kind of way. That is really good for you for as that fiber goes.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. And when I heard the young lady mention that there's a friend that has a bowel movement like every 3 days. It's moving up for me because I used to be that type of person. It will be 3 to 4 days. it's getting down to like 2 days, one day, and I had stopped my exercising for a minute there because I took on extra work with my granddaughter, but I'm trying to get back into it where I'm exercising more. So I'm seeing a change in that again. But thank you so much for that information. It really it's making me think more of what I need to do more. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
All right, coaches.
Okay, anybody else? Well, we do have some comments in the chat. Miss Lovely said, I thought it was a great slideshow. I love that you really laid out the importance of a healthy gut and your mental health. Thank you for the visuals of what a healthy gut looks like. That's from Lovely. Thank you, Lovely.
Of course.
And then Valerie asked her question, and then Julie, I think this might be for either you or Kat. I may need some help or guidance. I've been going through a ton of tests and being monitored since April as my CK total has been high for a year. My autoimmune and panel came back positive for an inflammatory muscle disease, but nothing confirmed yet as I am waiting to get into the Mayo Clinic.
Okay. Okay.
Mm.
If Julie, I mean, I don't want to overstep, but if you want to get with me offline, I mean, I can hear that I have some experience with this.
No, absolutely, because right now I'm just in limbo and my primary care, my PCM here on post doesn't really know too much. She's learning as we go, but right now, no exercise, and I don't know. Obviously, I need to change something. And they had told me to decrease my protein and stop creatine, which I don't take creatine and protein. I've been taking in less than I normally do. So any guidance, help, anything, because the dietitian I saw when I was admitted to the Army clinic here, we got into an argument. So
Julie,
Don't tell me who it is. I might know
I'll
him.
connect you. I'll give Jessica your number, and then you guys
Okay.
can talk about it sidebar.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. So Miss Latoya, she asked, "What's the documentary?" And then somebody, Miss Cat, she said, "Hack Your Health: Secret of Gut." So if anybody wants to watch that, and yeah, that was it. Okay, let's everybody can take themselves off mute and give a great thank you to Miss Jessica.
Thank you, Jessica.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
Thanks for the
you.
info.
You did
Loved
amazing.
it.
I loved it too. It really excites me to talk about things like this, because it aligns, right? Once you start understanding what your body needs and the way that it works, it starts making sense why people eat a certain way and they look a certain way and they feel a certain way and they think a certain way and they're so active because it's all in your gut. And these foods are not like so one thing that really gets to me is when we're talking to someone new and they say, and we tell them what, like, we recommend some whole foods to eat, and they say, well, I don't want to go on a diet. And I'm just like, I'm not trying to make you go on a diet. I'm just helping you eat whole foods. That's it. Like, it's every people believe that fast food, hamburgers, French fries, and I'm not saying these are bad or good. I'm just saying that eating more whole foods is better. And this is basically what's going to help our gut get better. So thank you, Jessica. I appreciate everything, all the information. So I'm going to continue. I do have some slides to share. So here we go. So this is Jessica. Thank you, Jessica, so much once again. Girl. She was amazing. So we got the wins of the week. So guys, just as she was talking about, there are some products that we have that you have that can help us. So I was really excited when she showed the picture of the gut. So on the gut, you guys saw the little fingers. Can you unspotlight her? And so in her diagram or her picture of the gut, there was these finger-like all along the gut line, right? These are called villi. These villi help absorb the nutrition into your body. Majority of people have a damaged villi because they don't feed it properly, or they're just stressed, or there's things that are going on inside that are breaking down these finger-like nubs. What our cell activator does is it helps reactivate those villi so they can actually work the way they're supposed to, which is absorbing the nutrition that you put into your body, or anything that you put into your body. But these are other products that we have that help with your gut. So we have the fiber, right? We have the apple fiber and the tropical fiber. This is great stuff. We have the aloe concentrate, guys. If you've had aloe before anywhere else, I don't know what to tell you. People always tell me like it's not good, it don't taste good. This aloe tastes so yummy. We have the on the go, the pint, and we even have half a gallon. These are so good. They go good with your tea. You can put them in your shake. You could just drink it with water. We have original, mandarin, cranberry, and mango. And then there's probiotics as well, a billion probiotics in one small scoop that you can put in your water, in your shake, in your tea, mix it up and just drink it on the go. And it has no flavor. And then we have the 21-day balancing program. It's a morning and afternoon tablet. And it's a soft cleanse. You're not going to be on the toilet for hours. It's basically just resetting everything. So the way that we like to think about this is, so think about how many times a week do you clean your toilet bowl? How many times a week? I mean, how many times a week, how many times a month, whatever it is, right? Think about that. Okay. And then think about how old you are. Now imagine not cleansing your gut for that long.
Yeah.
Yes. Yuck. Right? It is important to know that there's stuff going on inside that needs to get out so that your gut can actually work properly. And that's where the 21-day cleanse comes in. And it really helps out with that. Let me continue to share. So these are some of our products. If you want to take a screenshot so that you can take a look at them later. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So what's next? Okay. So we do have our shape up here in Hawaii and in Las Cruces. Okay. And I'm pretty sure there's a local shape up wherever you are. You just have to look it up in the We Do Transformation app. But the shape up is always, well, for Las Cruces and El Paso and Hawaii is on the 26th. If you have not yet gotten with your coach about it, it is a free event for the family. We just ask that you wear all black. And this time we ask that you bring a mask to the one here in Hawaii because, you know, it's Halloween. So your superhero mask, any kind of mask, just to have a little bit of fun. So these are the flyers. If you want to take a screenshot of that, if you're interested in joining, it'll be a lot of fun. And then we have the 21-day transformation challenge, which y'all are challengers, but now it's a lot funner when you do it with friends. So November challenge is open. You can invite your friends, you can invite your family, let them know, hey, November challenge is open. It's funner when you have someone to hold you accountable that you spend a lot more time with. We're your coaches and we're going to hold you accountable, but we're here to guide you. It's fun when there's someone in your family and your friends that are like, hey, what you doing? Hey, what you eat today? Hey, did you have your shake? It's like more of a back and forth kind of excitement. So anybody who's interested, you can join now, even if you're in the October challenge right now, you can join in for the November one. And I recommend it. I recommend joining the challenge. Let me tell you why. Because we all believe, right, that I can do this, I got this, we get this confidence, and then all of a sudden we're surrounded by the people who are inconsistent or don't really prioritize their health during this time of the year. So it's really easy for the mindset to get comfortable and say, it's okay. I'll figure it out when the new year comes. It's okay. We're just having fun right now, right? Fun turns into 10 pounds extra weight before 2025. Okay. And the goal is to roll into 2025 with a productive mindset, with a productive schedule, with some results. So when 2025 hits and everybody's on this momentum to create new results, a new lifestyle, you have already done it and you're already propelled into 2025 with lots and lots and lots of knowledge and lots of results. So if you don't want to do this alone, make sure that you invite your friends and your family so that they can do it with you. Seen lots of people do that, and it's a lot of fun to watch. So, guys, who's a preferred member in here? Put a 1 in the chat if you're a preferred member. Put a 2 in the chat if you'd like to learn how to become a preferred member, meaning you automatically start getting discounts on your products. So, a VIP member is someone who gets the opportunity to get their products for a discounted price starting at a 20%. And then you can get up to a 30%, up to a 40%. Now, what I love about our VIP membership, it is a one-time fee, just like you would with Costco. And then as you are consistent, you accumulate points that will lock you into that discount. So it's not like a monthly purchase. It's not a monthly buy-in. It's not a regenerated buy. It's just you simply saying, I'm committed, I'm going to invest, and the points add up for you, right? So it's not like you have to do it every month, but the points add up. And when you reach 500, you automatically get 30% off that whole order. When you reach 2,500, you automatically reach 40%. So if this is something that you're interested in, make sure that you get back with your coach and let them know. What I also love is you get free gifts as you accumulate points as well. So you not only up your discount, you not only have access to all the products at a discounted rate, you not only have access to having a coach one-on-one at a discounted rate, but you also get the opportunity to earn some prizes, some VIP membership H&M reward prizes. And these are not any cheapy. They are actually really good quality. I love them. I wish I could get them, but coaches, we can't. But y'all can. Challengers, you are more than welcome to grab these. So here's your next step, okay? Become a VIP member and enroll into your next transformation challenge. But guys, our goal is to transform 1 million lives. I started this business 14 years ago alongside with my wife with no intention whatsoever to want to do this business. All I wanted was to feel better. I was overweight. I was a size 13. I had really bad habits. I was drinking a lot. I was overeating at bars, eating bar food, going to eat Mexican food. And I just wanted to feel better. So I started going to the gym. I started walking and I started feeling a little better, right? Getting your body active does something different. So then all of a sudden I see my wife there at the gym. She invites me to something like Shape Up and I say, okay, or a nutrition club. And I say, okay, I said, what is this? Not interested still in the nutrition because baby, I know what I'm doing. I got this, okay? So all of a sudden I see people walking around. They're looking good. They're feeling good. Their energy's great. And I was like, let me see what they're up to. And what she did is she gave me a shake and I said, okay, I said, whatever this is, get me involved in it and I want it. I was able to drop 40 pounds in 4 months. It's not what's typical, but it's what's possible. I dropped the weight. People started asking me what I was doing. She said, you can make the money. I can make the money. And I said, you know what? I'm up for it. I said, let me see. I was at a dead-end job. I was being womanized. I was being threatened at my waitress job. And it wasn't fun for me anymore. It wasn't like fast money and easy and fun. I wanted something that my son could look up to and say, hey, my mom does this for a living and I'm proud of her. And it's not that waitressing is a bad job or anything, but for me, I wanted something that I could pass on to my son. And so my first check in the business was $300. And when I made those $300, what that did for me is I thought, okay, if I could pay one bill, I can pay all my bills. So then I got serious. And then 14 years later, my wife and I, this is all that we do. We work from home, we network, we work with other coaches, and we just have a blast doing it. Is it work? Yes. Is it fun? Heck yes. Being surrounded with people that you love and that you grow with is something that is priceless. So transforming 1 million lives is impossible doing it by ourselves. But us as coaches, bringing one person at a time, us as people who are wanting to contribute, inviting your friends and your family, even if you're just a client, is going to make the movement. And also, you know, just inviting your friends to also, as yourself, just being recommitted monthly helps to build up that that to 1 million. Let me go back to my sharing screen. So get back with your coach, let them know, hey, I'm interested about learning about this, helping others transform their lives by being a coach, or being a, oh my gosh, I can't think of the word. What's the word? No, an ambassador. Being an ambassador, someone who just wants to invite other people to be part of the movement, or being a VIP member. Okay, whatever that is for you. So next call is next Sunday on the 20th. Make sure that you get back with your coach and share what you learn. But lots of love, guys. You only retain what you share. So make sure you share what you learned today. Before we leave, let's go ahead and take a picture. Everybody, please take their turn on your camera. Desi, Caitlin,
Don't
love.
forget to submit your pictures today, last day.
Last day for pictures. Hi, Diana. Let me see the baby. What's she doing? She's sleeping. Oh my gosh. She's the cutest. Lovely. Caitlin. You could show your face. Desi. Henry, turn your light on. All right, we ready? 1, 2, and 3. All right, everybody, lots of love. See you next Sunday.
Bye.
Bye.
See you next Sunday, same time, same place.
Bye, everyone. Have a good night.
Thank
Bye,
you,
y'all.
Jessica.
Thank you, Jessica.
Thank you,
You're welcome.
Jessica.
Anytime.